Oh yeah. What's going on, Joe?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How are we
Uh,
doing?
Thursday's the new Friday, man. That's what I'm deciding. Like this is
Oh, really? Why? Why
yeah,
are you deciding this?
my weeks are so front loaded. By the time I get to Thursday morning, once I complete this show, I'm like
Hey, that's pretty nice. That's
yeah,
a
it's
good
good.
deal.
I'm not saying I stopped, but like mentally, like all like Thursdays and Fridays are
Most
like my project specialty days kind of deal. Like
yeah,
they're not my
yeah.
regular days.
Right. I understand. I understand what you're saying. Yes, yes, yes. You
Yeah,
don't want
so
to come off as not working on Thursday and Friday. I understand.
oh,
But
trust me, I would love to come off as not working on Thursday and Friday. That's we just know that's not real. That's all.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. This is Proper Cup of Joe, where we're longtime friends, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, this guy Adam gets a whole bunch of snakes, and I haven't gotten any snakes, and I got a whole bunch of questions. So that's the premise of the show. We talk about a lot of different things. So, how was your week?
My week was good, man. And by the way, when you say out of the blue, it's been 6 years, Joe.
It was
It's
kind of out of the blue, though. It was
at the
one time
moment
I
everything's out
saw
of the blue
you.
at the start.
I saw I saw you, and then the next time I saw you, you had like 100 snakes.
That is an overstatement. And like it was probably 3 years since between I saw you stuff.
Yeah, there was
Uh,
that little pandemic thing that happened, I guess.
There was that challenge. Anyway, yeah, we don't have to tear apart the biography of Adam and Joe's friendship. Anyway, yeah, the week is good. I finally felt caught up. I feel back in rhythm and routine. And like I was saying at the beginning of the show, like Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and then the Thursday mornings are super structured for me. And it's like they're not really deadlines, but they are. They're cleaning, they're pairing, they're weaning rodents. They're all the things that have to get done. And if I'm on track by Thursday and Friday, then those are project days. And my project today, Joe, I got to check in with you. Have you
Well,
done Have you done your taxes?
oh, I have not actually, and I have two
Yeah.
sets of taxes to do, and that is one is my daughter's taxes, my stepdaughter's taxes, and then one is my taxes. But I used to work in an accounting firm,
Right.
so I really kind of put it off. I might even for my own, I might just like put an extension in,
You're gonna extend
and then
it? You're gonna delay it?
I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll
No.
see. We'll see. If I get
All right.
bothered by it, I'll just put an extension
Now my appointment is this morning, man. I There's some saying somewhere that's like deadlines make results or something. Like, thank God there's a deadline because I would never get around to doing that crap.
in.
I have a pile this deep of receipts. They're done. Finally, they're done. I didn't organize them yet, but I will. But like as far as like what the guy needs, what I have, I gotta I'm so excited to get this done today, man.
Are you?
So
Yeah. Uh, are you? Yeah. You got a guy. Okay, so you have a
Oh,
guy that you
gotta have
use.
a
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Gotta have a
Like,
guy.
I think this is just my personal little soapbox. I think taxes are like being like your own lawyer. Like, don't self-represent yourself. And the bigger the case, the more you need the lawyer. Like maybe Raleigh doesn't need a tax guy. Like she's got Joe. That's cool. But like I've got such a convoluted setup. And part of it is that this guy has created a world that I can't even understand. Like one of my businesses own my other three businesses. It all flows through this way.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Don't
I'm a
mess around.
percentage owner. Kelly's a percentage owner, but I'm an owner operator. So we're saving, and I'm like, now,
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with that. No way. No
no.
way.
But I've had this guy since I was 20 years. Man, since I started at the PGA Tour, I've had this guy as my tax guy. So I mean, he knows me in and
And
out.
do you give over your receipts?
No, I keep all of those. I give him,
Tally, and then you keep your receipts. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I give him the numbers and the information. He goes, you swear this is true because you're going to sign on the bottom line. He's like, I can make good decisions if it's true. I'm like, yeah, it's true. He's like, all right, if
Right.
you get
Right.
all,
Right.
you're going to need to have these. So I've got my stuff, but I send him all the information. And he's still in Jacksonville. I do it all. What a beautiful day and age. A time to be alive, man. My tax guys
Yeah.
across the country. No
Right.
problem.
Perfect. Perfect. You just like, and is there a system that you upload this to? Is that how it works? I'm trying to like gauge what the company
Yeah,
that I used to work for, like, did we do things normally or
there's
not?
a Google share file, and I send them all my spreadsheets and my statements. So
Gotcha.
like all my tax forms that we receive, I scan those go uploaded into his thing. And then my business books, I send him the files for it sounds really silly to say out loud. I think there's 4 businesses. I send them 4 businesses worth of files. Well,
And what
just
kind of
P&L
businesses
files.
are there? What kind of entities are they? This is really, we're really off to a rousing start to the
Hey, it's April, man. This is what we got to talk about. So to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. The music is just like miscellaneous income. That's just miscellaneous revenue. That's the easy
Yeah.
one. And
Do
then
you have a business for that?
no, that's not. He said it's not. It's just
Yeah.
that's
So that's
just out on.
substantial enough.
Yeah, that's just out on the side. Basically, all right, Adam, you get some revenue and you get to deduct your cost of guitars if you want, and that's pretty much a wash.
Right.
But then the car wash is an LLC, Proper Royals is an LLC, and then First Growth Management Consulting owns all of that. That's the holding company that
Oh, okay.
owns
Yes. Yeah,
the
yeah.
car wash and Proper Royals.
All right. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So you're going to get all that. You're just going to have that today, and it's just an hour meeting. And you see, I'm going to go, I do them myself.
Oh,
So it's going to be a task and a half. And I hate it.
I,
I think that's
I
why I
like
got
it.
out.
Well, I think that's why I have to pay somebody. Like there does.
Yes.
No, but let me ask you this. Like, and this is a little bit of like a life, like this is a little bit of a life accomplishment. You got to have a little bit of money in your pocket or have something going on to be able to
Right.
think
Yeah.
or to be able to think this way. So I acknowledge that, but I'm happy that I'm here. At some point, it's cheaper to pay somebody else to do it than me waste a whole like what I could
Yeah.
bill my clients, or what I could build relationship with my customers, or what I can build my brand, or just get stuff done so that my stress is gone. It's cheaper to pay the guy so I could go do that stuff rather than spend 5 or 8 hours this afternoon doing something I'm not good at and I don't know anything about anyway. The guy's
Right.
probably going to
Yeah.
save me money anyway. So
Right.
I really, if you have business, I really actually advocate, and you don't have the insight like you do, Joe, from working in it. I totally advocate going to get like literally ask the person, can you save me money if I write you this check, and
Yeah. Right.
interview them, find out. That's what I would say. So I like it. And I like the guy, and it becomes more of a relationship too, because then we talk strategy. Hey, Adam,
Yeah. Yeah.
this was a good year. Had you set it up this way, or had you contributed to this, or had you spent this, or had you saved this would have come out a little bit different. So you start to get a little bit of a business strategy looking forward to, which I really like as well.
It is a good question, and it's probably a good question for the chat, because what are those things in your life that you could probably do and figure out, but you pay somebody else to do, just so that you have the time and you don't have to do it. So
Right.
I think of those things all the time, and especially I think it has more to do with I don't know, just like the other day, Aiden had a friend over, and there's a whole section of our house that needs to be weeded, and weeding is easy. It's just the hot, terrible, humid
It,
sun.
When you
And
said I
like,
thought you were going to say any other
thank you.
word than easy. Yeah, weeding in Tampa is not easy.
But
That
I mean,
sucks.
what I mean is like you don't have to have any special kind of knowledge to do it,
Right.
right? It's just pulling weeds. And I was like, and Chelsea and I were out there, and Chelsea's the one who usually weeds this area. And she's like, I don't want to do this. And so Aiden's friend was over, and I was like, how much would you take to do this? And and Chelsea was like, no, I'll just do it. But at like for all like the complaining and all of the work that goes into it, I mean, I'd much rather, like, I was seriously thinking like, I'll just pay this guy to do it.
Yeah.
So like it's a lot of like stuff around the property that's kind of like that, where I go, I would rather, usually I do it, but
Right.
sometimes I go, let's just pay somebody to do it.
So two things come to mind. One here being snow. I hate paying people to plow my snow mentally. And then I go do it, and I'm like, pay the man, get this crap out of here, because it takes time. It screws up my routine. It messes with me mentally, and then physically. That's when it's a heavy snow, man. That's a lot of work. Like, and
Yeah.
the work I do isn't the hardest work, but it also is physical work. Like cleaning snakes and rats all day is a physical job. So like then it's eating into my calories that I got. Like it just throws it all like, and I don't count. I'm not literally saying I count my calories. I'm saying I'm starting the day.
I wouldn't put it past you.
I know. I've been told. So like
so in order to do this work on Tuesday, I need to take in the morning 1,200 calories. And then
I do that for Tinley, actually, where I'm like, all right, I have to. Well, no, because like on Tinley Day, I had to get up so I used to do the PGA Tour tournaments, and I had to report to work at 2:30 in the morning for those tournaments. So I would always work backwards. So it would be like, all right, because you can't get 8 hours of sleep getting up at 2:30. Who could go to bed at 6:30 and actually fall asleep, right? So it's like, all right, I'm going to be lucky to get 5 or 6 hours. So that means 3 days ahead, I need to start only sleeping like 2 or 3 hours so that I'm exhausted and I actually can go to sleep at 6 p.m. the first night. And then I need to eat like pasta the 2 days. Like, so I do that for Tinley where I'm like, all right, I got to get up at 4:30. So if I leave at 4:30 on Friday morning, or if I have to get up at 4 a.m. on Friday morning to leave at 4:30, Wednesday night, I'm going to stay up and get as little sleep as possible so that Thursday night I go to bed at like 6:30, 7 o'clock before I leave for Tinley. And I eat a big whole lot of calories.
So to prepare for Tinley, you deprive yourself of sleep.
To make sure that I'll 2 days before, and then the night before I get a whole bunch of sleep. Yes, that's right.
Sorry. It's just funny. It is funny to me because that was actually my one thing this week. So this is if you're just seeing this as a show for the first time, we talk about one thing that we've been thinking about or that happened to us this past week. So my one thing this week was I take a graduate course for just to have fun, and I like it. So I had a paper due, and basically it's a historiography. Oh, there's a big turkey outside my window, right, really close to my window. Wow. So it's a historiography, which is basically you pick a topic and you review the literature. It's like 5 book reports in one, basically. It's like, I don't know. It's just something that historians do, I guess. So I read the books and everything, and I just didn't get to writing it until Tuesday. It was due Wednesday morning.
Joe, at graduate school, you're doing this crap?
Yes. Yeah. But it's how I work too. Like I was completely fine with it.
Deadlines create results, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like everything that we've been talking about so far, is right in tune with what happened on Tuesday. My significant other, Chelsea, she was more nervous about it than I was. She was like, "When are you going to write your paper?" When I'm like, "It'll be fine. I'll get it done." And so I pulled an all-nighter on Tuesday for the first time probably since I don't know, in like 20
years. Yeah.
Like just no sleep at all. And it really, like, you can't do it.
No, I was going to say, like, how crazy is the next day? Like, you may as well just drink a bottle of NyQuil and try and get through a day to experience how that feels, man. Like, you had to be out of it, man. Oh, no, I lost Joe. He froze right now. Oh, are you back?
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't. It was rough yesterday, but actually, there was this kind of weird thing. I did, like, in the middle of the day, I was like, okay, I can't do anything. I'm just gonna take like an hour nap. So I took an hour nap, and like it was. I mean, I was good last night. I mean, I probably went to bed a little bit earlier, but like, I don't know. There was I went to the gym last night and I had like a really good workout.
Oh, look at you. Okay.
I don't know, and then I remember reading something like you actually don't catch up on sleep. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard that being said before. Like, you can't catch up on sleep. Whatever sleep that you miss, you just miss. Does that make sense or not?
Yeah, I mean, you're never gonna balance those books. Like, oh, there was all these debits over here. I got to give myself some credits. I don't think that works.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think if you miss like let's say you sleep like 7 hours a night or whatever, you go, okay, I didn't sleep tonight, so this next night I'm gonna sleep 14 hours. Like, it doesn't really work. It doesn't work.
I think it's more of but you could reset, like you could recharge. Like I think that is how. I mean, I'm not familiar with like the report you're talking about, but like, yeah, you need that one good night of 8-9 hours. Or I'll tell you what, after I came off that cruise, I needed 3 or 4 nights of good sleep to reset.
Solid sack time. Why is that? Why? Because you were.
Oh, probably because there's all you could do on the boat is eat and drink, man. Like endless. The consumption on the boat, and it wasn't like I sat down and had 5 drinks. It was at 1 PM, you start having a margarita, and then by 11 o'clock at night, you're having a glass of red wine on the balcony.
Yeah.
And who knows what happened in between, and you don't feel like. You don't feel like you're smashed, but then you do the math and you're like, okay. And then you do that for 5 or 7. You do that for 7 days, and you're like, okay, I'm going to stop this.
And that more than anything else, like at my age, that's what eating and drinking affects me most. Is I cannot get good sleep if I eat poorly and I drink alcohol. I still do it. But it's really
right. Pay the cost, but yeah,
yes, it's just not good solid sack time. It's terrible. Anyway, that was my one thing. What about your one thing? What was your one thing this week?
I had a cool moment this week, and it's really obscure and kind of like nuanced, but I also feel like that's what this show's about. I like sports for, I don't know, I guess really just the pure entertainment purposes of it. But I also I do think that there's like a cultural implication, and there's cool lenses to look through sports through. So it's kind of multi-layered, and I like the strategy and the leadership of like imagining what it takes to look like 55 full-grown men that are all millionaires, probably making more than the coach is, and the coach going, here's what we got to do every time. And then they go do it in front of I think of all these like machinations that I really like. And anyhow, one of my favorite shows for like 20 years, it was on the air for a long time, was called Around the Horn. And it was on, it was on at 5 o'clock on Eastern time on ESPN right before Pardon the Interruption. Great hour of daily entertainment sports. And then like in the shop, I love listening to music, but sometimes I need my brain like intrigued in different ways. So I'll listen to sports radio on ESPN, or I'll listen to these podcasts or whatever. Anyhow, I'm saying all this because there was a guy that used to be a journalist at the Washington Post, and then he was on Around the Horn. He had a show on ESPN radio, and his name is Clinton Yates. He's a black guy, black journalist from Washington, D.C., loves sports. And his show and his commentary was always like, yeah, there's the stats and the wins and losses, but then there's the, hey, does the structure of this collective bargaining agreement make sense? And how does that relate to historical norms for how various people have been treated and all of this kind of, really interesting stuff.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
About a month ago, out of nowhere, and I don't know the details, it's not my business. Suddenly, Clinton Yates is not working for ESPN, or he also worked. He also wrote for a outlet called Anscape. Suddenly, he's not working, and there's they label it as restructuring and this or that. And I follow him on Instagram, and I like say, oh, he had the 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. slot on ESPN. So I usually listen to him when I was driving to the shop, and then I found myself turning on his show in the shop. So I see him on Instagram, and there's some troll giving him a hard time, saying he got fired because he wouldn't shut up and just report scores and stats. And I was like, screw this guy. He doesn't even get the whole thing. And I was like, you know what? What could it cost? Like, this guy's just eating crap from haters. I was like, let me shoot this guy a message and tell him that I appreciate what
you got involved. Okay. Oh, but not direct. You didn't direct it towards the hater.
The trolls aren't worth your time.
Positive influence.
I was like, Clinton Yates maybe needs a little memo in his inbox from Adam,
Yeah, right.
And so I sent him one, and lo and behold, we ended up having a nice conversation.
That's great.
I'm like, hey, look at me chatting with old Clinton Yates, having a good time here in the Instagram, in the big grand scheme of things, whoop-de-doo, somebody that I look up to, gave me a little nod. Fine. On the other hand, how cool of a world is it that you can send a note to somebody? Maybe they see it, maybe they don't. But 25 years ago, I couldn't do that and have any hope that, what am I going to send a fan mail? And I don't even know how you look up, so it was really cool and kind of it was just nice to chat to a human with a human being that seems like they're not. There wasn't no automated response or I'm a celebrity. Yeah. I'm not going to talk to you. So I thought it was real cool, and it was just a cool moment that kind of made my day. And I told him so. Yeah. He's like, "Well, I'm the guy that lost my job, and you're sending me nice notes that kind of made my day." And I'm like, "Well, there we go. We're winning here. Everybody wins,
That's great. And I love that because it's like you're being positive. It's a great positive interaction online, which is, most of the crap that you see is just like, oh,
that's true.
Guy. I hate you. I hate you. So,
yeah.
So it's great. That's fantastic. It's funny though. So I've mentioned a few times on this show that I do listen to a radio show. And pretty regularly. It's on Sirius XM, and it's 2 hours for 4 days a week. And I try to listen to all 8 hours.
What show is it?
Each week. It's a show called Bennington.
Okay.
And this guy has been around. He's a radio guy, and he started in Tampa at the end of the 80s.
Okay.
With the Ron and Ron show, and then he had a show in New York, and I started to listen to him probably 23 years ago. 23 years ago, when I was living in New York City, and I've consistently listened to this guy for that 23 years. There's been years where I haven't really, but
this is getting really deep. But was he one of the Rons?
He's one of the Rons. Yeah, he was. He was Bennington. He was one of the Rons.
95 YNF. How about that? How deep did I go on that, man? Yeah, I know right where you're talking about.
So and then there was a guy on that show called Fez Watley, who Ron and Fez, they did this show in New York City, and I started to listen to them and I've listened to them for 23 years.
Okay.
And it is amazing. Like you don't so he recently was diagnosed with colon cancer. I think I mentioned this like a couple of weeks ago, because it was like, you don't realize, right, that these folks, when you listen to them consistently, and they're not so like, I don't think Ron Bennington is a huge celebrity. I think he's like well known in radio, and I think he's respected among like comedians and stuff, but he's not like this uber celebrity or whatever.
Right.
But he's been a part of my life for 23 years. I probably know more about what he thinks about the world than like, I don't know, people I talk to every day, right? So it really, you kind of like, you hear about, and then I think, wow, I mean, he's going through something that's really rough. It's tough. It's, he's going through these treatments now, and he's on the air he's stayed on the air this entire time. Fantastic guy, good show, great show. And it's just interesting how these folks become a part of your life. And then you go, wow, and it's all one-sided. But
that's true. You don't have to.
You can have these interactions though with them now. And just like last year, I started to, message the show and interact with the show a little bit. Just like you, and it's great. It's fantastic. I love it. It's like I just like, I don't know. I think you kind of take for granted until things are gone, like how much they affect you, And Ron's still here. Ron is great, but when something like this happens, or like your guy, he gets fired or something, he's not there anymore. You go, gee, right? It's not a part of my life anymore.
Well, and what really frankly pisses me off, clearly, I don't know the circumstances. Maybe he did something horrible. I have no idea. But they clearly didn't have a plan, because there's no show there now. It's just like two news reporters just reading scores for two. It's on they didn't have a plan to fix the morning drive moment. Clearly there was some. Now it's talk radio, so maybe I'm making more of it than I should, but it's ESPN. They're they don't play games. They're owned by Disney. What are they doing? So if it was truly just a restructuring, then somebody did a terrible job. At least have a plan after the thing, right? Anyway, best to Clinton Yates. Maybe I get him on Tuesday night one night. That'd be awesome, man.
And best to Ron Bennington too.
There you go.
So check out Ron Bennington every once in a while. He does great interviews, by the way. They're all online. They're terrific. Anyway, talk radio. It's great. I love it.
Should we talk about the coolest ball python in the world this week, Joe?
Yeah, let's do it.
You know what? I just realized I need to make sure I know what the heck this is so I could tell people about it. And I went and looked. You know what? I'm going to have to wing it because I moved off the page. Shoot.
Do you need a minute?
I might need a minute. Can you want to talk about the people that bring us the coolest ball python in the world each week?
That's going to be Heart of the Python. Great folks. Up in somewhere
Massachusetts.
In England, right?
Bill and Kate. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Bill and Kate. They're doing. What I think is really cool about them is they're breeding for temperament, which is really interesting. So check them out. Heart of the Python. It's a family affair up there as well. So they got it's Bill and Kate, and then they got two kids that are working clowns and
look at you. Yo, you're going to the okay. We got Kate working Monarch and Puzzle. Bill working Monsoon. Yes. Yeah, and then the kids are working Sunset and Clown. Good for you, Joe.
Okay, Sunset,
almost, man.
I missed Sunset. I had Sunset in my brain. I just couldn't I couldn't get it out of the muck that's in there.
I mean, I got to tell you, that's pretty like that. That's a better promo than if I went to like a Toyota dealership and tried to cut a promo on like the new, Camry or whatever. So that's pretty good.
But I will say this: any kind of people that you see on this show, like Heart of the Python, Cold Blooded Cafe, they're all terrific folks because Adam is the connector, and Adam works with people that he admires, that he respects. And so any of these folks that you see here are going to be good people to work with. So check any of these guys out. But for the best or the coolest ball python in the world, it's Heart of the Python.
Okay, Heart of the Python this week. Are you ready, Joe? Have you ever heard of the dark side?
I have. I mean, I've heard of the dark side.
Just in life, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna go a little dark today, okay? Like it's easy. It's easy to be like, oh, that's crazy bright and weirdo colors. Check this thing out, though. By the way, guys, we do a little segment every week, the coolest ball python in the world, where I go find something that just strikes me as, holy crap, I got to share this and tell people about it. Joe is going to rate it with the number of cups of coffee, up to 2, that he feels that it's worth. Little rating system. Are you ready, Joe? Here we go. Here's this week's coolest ball python in the world. How about that, man? Like I say, a little bit darker. You gotta take a moment and take this one in. Like head and tail. Like look how dark the head is, but then you realize that's actually like one of the lightest points on the snake. I really like the eyes. Yeah. I like the eyes too. That's not just the lighting. That is multicolored, like two-tone eyes, where the eye stripe comes through the eyeball. You get a little bit of a lighter color on top, a little darker on the bottom. You're getting that chocolatey look on the head. The clean, like dorsal, like black is really cool. And then I love how like the patterns like drip down, man. You got these almost like what would you call them? Stalactites looking patterns on the side. If we're talking contrast and pattern, it's off the charts on this animal. I think it's really cool. And then color. This just takes a new angle on color. We're going black, and then at even the lightest point is like a whitish gray at the very bottom of those stalactites. Man, this snake is from. Let's give some props here for a second. This snake is from Frankenstein Creatures out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. I don't know this person, but they do have a full 5-star review on Morph Market. Frankenstein Creatures. And Joe, this is 3 dominant genes and 1 recessive. The recessive is clown. It's got that nice clean head stamp, the strong dorsal line, and then the pattern kind of dripping down the sides. And then the 3 dominants that are in it are chocolate, spot nose, and a gene called cinnamon. And I like this because these are genes that have been around for a long time. Like a lot of breeders always want to like show off and flex. Oh, I got this new thing. I'm working this new, whatever word that never existed before. And like the cool stuff that could still be done with the amazing genes or the standard genes that are out there. Really, really cool, man. I'm loving what this snake does. How about this dark clown? What do you think, Joe?
Yeah. It's gorgeous. It's really cool. And actually, it's like, it's cooler. It actually is cooler when you kind of step away from it. That's what I think is really neat about it. And the pattern on the back is so, I don't know. It's just so clear. There's such a nice clear contrast to the
sharp contrast really sells it, huh?
It's really great. And I like what you're saying too. I like that these are just genes that have been around a while. I think sometimes the best stuff has been around a while and you just make it the best that you can. I'm going to give this one I'm going to give this 1.5 cups of coffee.
1.5 cups. Okay.
1.5. Yes.
Really,
very, very cool.
very
Cool.
solid, very cool snake. Again, congratulations to Frankenstein Creatures out in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Coolest ball python in the world this week, going dark, chocolate cinnamon spot nose clown. That is available on Morph Market if anybody is interested in picking up a coolest ball python in the world. There you go. You can
check it out.
There. All right, man.
Hey, when you post this, do you like tag the? I don't even know if those are the right words for social media. Do you tag the coolest ball python in the world?
No. Here's the history of it. I used to do this as a monthly YouTube video, and I would reach out to a breeder. I would ask them to give me input on what they bred, the pairings on it, why, to try and really get the story, like kind of dig deep on what projects are they working? Why did they breed this? How did this come out? Is this a project they've been working on? Was it a surprise? That kind of thing. I would tag them. I would market it. I would ask for permission. And that's why I stopped doing it, because it got so difficult to get all that arranged. And then some breeders were like, no, I don't want you saying anything. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. That's it. And if somebody gets mad at a compliment that I'm paying them, then I guess I'll have that conversation when it comes up. But
so you don't do it. You don't say like, this is Frankenstein. What is it called? Frankenstein
Creatures. Yeah, I've never read that. No.
So you would never put that and go, hey, I recognized your snake this week. No, because it causes too much problems.
Yeah, well, and actually this plays into our topic later today. It's too much. It's something I had to say no to. I just had to say, you know what? That part of the operation has to get cut out. Like, it's 9 o'clock last night and I'm looking for the coolest ball python in the world. Then what? I'm going to spend another hour hoping that I get this person's blessing. Like, I'm just going to show a snake and talk about it. That's what we do.
Yeah. And it's public domain, right? So
it's posted publicly. Yeah. So, but I definitely want to give them credit. It's not that I don't want to give people credit. It's just, how far do I take it? Like, do we have to have a friendship? Do I need to know their backstory? Talk about snake. But that's why I stopped doing it in the first place, because it all
too much.
It all came too much. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and but you only got to know that you should say no to that in the doing of it, because it did become then something, because it's not just like, oh, it's too much. If there was a proper payoff to it, then okay, then there you go. I'm going to do it. Then I put the work in and I do it. But it was only something to raise awareness and maybe draw a few viewers to it. So I'm sure in your decision, you're like, what is the return on investment for doing this, for the amount of work that actually goes into doing this?
Yeah. And at different points in time, it had different value. When I was building my brand and starting out and just trying to find something different than every other video on YouTube, it was a cool thing. And part of what inspired me to bring it back to this segment was, believe it or not, people at Tinley were like, man, you doing those coolest ball python in the world videos, those were great when we started. I mean, it was the end of COVID. We were still trying to, we were still the world was still weird, and we were still looking for new entertainment, and ball pythons were booming, and it was like this heyday of ball python media, and it was something different that wasn't out there. So yeah, I did 10 or 12 episodes of the coolest ball python in the world. And I was like, man, this is too much work. So, but it at the time, it made me stand out, and it made people remember me. And still, like I say, I'll meet people that I've never met before, and they're like, when I first came across you, you were doing this thing, and it's called the coolest ball python in the world. And I was like, yeah, man, that's cool. So it was worth it. It just wasn't worth continuing to do.
Yeah. So already we've talked about, the topic that we discussed that we were going to talk about today is when to say no to stuff, when
Yeah.
to, or maybe even discontinue things that you've been doing. And so we've done two things. Like we've talked about first, the return on investment, the amount of time that you put in, and really valuing your time, which came up earlier in the show anyway.
Yeah.
Is,
Right.
do you pay out somebody to do your taxes when it's going to take them just a little bit of time? It's going to take you a huge amount of time. You might mess things up. So you pay out and you do, okay, really valuing, putting a value on your time, each hour on your time, and going, okay, what is my time worth? Can I get more done doing this than spending time on my taxes or whatever? And then if the work that I'm doing is bringing, what's it bringing back? What is the return, right? What's the return on investment? And then what purpose is it serving at that particular stage of your business? It might be good in the beginning of your business, especially for this type of thing that we're talking about.
Right.
At the beginning of your business, you're connecting, and that's the point, that you're introducing yourself and your business to everybody else in the industry. So getting out there and making and complimenting other breeders and going, okay, you have the coolest ball python in the world. But after a while, that return on what you're gaining, you enter into a different stage of your business, and then you go, okay, that's not serving me in the same way. So then I have to put it aside, because now I have a huge catalog that I need to take care of, and I have to spend it on cleaning up poop more than working
Right.
on ball pythons, the coolest ball python, right?
But I will, yeah, and I want to say to anybody like just starting out or trying to figure out like, how do I? Everybody says you got to be active in social media, but I don't know how to do it, and I'm not good at this, or I'm not comfortable at that. That's one of those like just start things. You're exactly right about how do you make contacts? Well, a really great way to make contacts is to buy something from somebody, but that gets expensive and money runs out. But that is a good way to build relationships. But another good way is to like, in wrestling, they call it putting somebody over, like the new kid that gets a win over somebody. Like, just go put like, how mad is somebody going to be at you that you say, hey, you got the coolest ball python in the world, and I want to advocate for your brand totally for free. Like what's the downside? Like, it's not, as long as I'm not a psychopath, there's probably not much of a downside. So
somebody's going to find a downside though eventually.
Well, they will, and they did, and but that was a good angle. And so there was that part of building the brand. But the other thing that I didn't realize, and people don't see, is behind the scenes, I was getting editing chops. I was getting chops on talking on camera. I was getting used to hearing my own voice on camera. I was getting used to, hey, I got to hold a snake this way. Then you start asking yourself, well, could I do like a picture in picture, like I'm a newscaster? I could have my head here talking and I could have the picture here. So then you go learn how to do that in the editing process. You get reps. And so just having like a focused project to do something gets you the reps and gets you skills is what it gets you. So
I think people don't factor that into, like, okay, so we talk about what's your return on investment. A lot of times people don't think about that learning and development as something that is a return on your investment. Now you know how to do, because you're doing this project, which is pretty low stakes, and you're connecting with people, you're learning all of those behind the scenes things. That's a really that's insightful. That's really insightful, because I think out of the grand matrix of like urgent and important tasks, and then important but not urgent tasks, and then urgent but not important tasks, and then not urgent and not important tasks. Learning and development falls into important but not urgent. And I think people really go, okay, I need to do all of the urgent things first. especially the urgent and important things. But then they kind of seep into that box of urgent but not important. And I think what happens is those not important and urgent things, or not important or important but not urgent things, they kind of get left behind. And learning and development is one of those things. So if you have things that you are learning from that you're doing, factor that into your return on investment for sure.
I think some people get, I wouldn't say let down, but they get like an aha moment. And actually, I might even tell a story in just a second. But so like even in the Proper Royals Patreon, I'll get some new folks sometimes that'll come and they'll say, I want to learn how to, pitch to a brand for a brand alignment. I'm like, okay, I'll show you exactly the pitch that I send to people. I got no, but I'll be fully transparent on it. The only thing I can't share is like the dollars and that kind of stuff, but I'll show you how I do it. And I'll say, but what's the thing that you're attaching it to? And they're like, oh, I haven't started that yet, but I will. I'm ready to go on that. And I'm like, you got to have the thing before anybody's going to want to attach themselves to the thing. Like, you can't be like, hey, here's what's going to happen. You want to support, like, maybe Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk can be like, I had this great idea. Why don't you fund it? But the true bootstrap, you got to build the thing before somebody else is going to attach themselves to it. And more importantly, people don't realize the stuff that goes into the thing. Now, I realize I'm getting really insightful with sentences like the stuff that goes into the thing, but writing a good description, learning about SEO, finding how to reach the audience, learning how to manage StreamYard while you're streaming and playing producer at the same time. All those things take chops and take time, So that's why I tell people, just get started. You don't necessarily need to know where you're going or what you're going to learn along the way, but you can't figure any of that out unless you get started. And it doesn't make sense.
Get involved in the stuff to do the thing. Yes, yes, yeah.
Right. And it's cool because, like, even I wouldn't say I'd never want to, in a community, I never want to quote weed people out. So at work, at the restaurant, day one of training, I don't care how long you've worked in the restaurant industry, day one checklist, can you carry a food tray? Mm-hmm. You got to start with, I can't have you selling Wagyu steaks if you can't carry the Wagyu steaks to the table. And, and here's the other thing too. Our bodies aren't made, I don't want to get into the physics of it, but I would with the server. If you carry a food tray with your arms straight out, our backs aren't, that is leverage. That is torque. That is your arm becomes in physics what's known as a moment arm, and there's downward torque and it's pulling your back all day. However, if you carry a heavy food tray in the same direction as your spine is aligned, you can work an 8 or a 9 hour shift and not be exhausted and be able to walk the next day. So it's very important. And they don't realize that. And they're going, what a psychopath this Adam is. And I'm like, you don't get a section on the floor until you could carry that food tray full of plastic cups of water and not spill them or be soaking wet. Because you have to do the reps. You have to do the basics of it. So that's a little side.
So there are some things. Yeah, there are some things that you should say yes to that maybe don't have that monetary return on investment, because it's going to do other things for you, which is it'll force you to learn certain things, and it will help you to meet people. Now, I have a question for you, Adam.
Yes.
What are the things that you say yes to that you go, I should have said no to this? Because I do think that it's really, really important, whatever you're doing, is for you to have a vision, right? So, and what the vision and the mission do for you is, yes, it points you in the direction that you want to go, where your business wants to be, where you want your business to be. But it also determines what you're going to say no to. What are you doing? And when you define that, you can go, I'm saying no to all of these other things. I think that's really important. But what are those things that you say yes to? What lulls you into the yes that you should have said no to?
All right. The one part that you're missing is also the stuff that matters important or incredibly important. How will I get 2 or 3 hours a night that's not related to business, that is just enjoying time with my wife and my son, or sitting on the couch and watching a mindless football game or wrestling or whatever the hell? And that's vitally important, man. Like, and my own personality type, because I'm so excited about what I do. B, I'm still absolutely terrified about what I do. Like, I had a perfectly good job. It was pretty, like, of all the things in the world I could complain about, my job really wasn't that bad. It was fine. And I was compensated really well. So if I'm going to walk away from all of that, I feel like I have this massive responsibility that weighs on me. I'll spare you where I was thinking of this last night, but in a moment alone where I think very clearly, I was like, oh, I got to get back to work. And I'm like, I'm going to bed right now. Like, I'm about to go to bed. And this is what my thoughts are. Like, I'm just a psychopath, So part of what drives me to say no is, will it cut into the time where I get my head right and relax? And if it's going to cut into that, I probably will say no. If it's not going to cut it, if it's not going to cut into that, I will. Like, I have a general rule. Like, if somebody wants me to come on their show or interview or talk to me of how to do something, I will generally answer the phone every time, unless, like, say they're a known person that I just don't want to be, associated with. Then I won't. But generally, I'll say yes. However, I've also found that I probably have a little bit of an attention disorder, if not an obsessive compulsive streak in me, which is probably what leads to some of my success, is that I just don't quit. I just get obsessive about stuff. So I have this tendency to say yes to everything. And I heard this interview with Trevor Noah where he says, I say no to everything. And then once it forces me to think it through, and if I can think it through and make it work, then I'll call the person back and tell them I can make it work. And I'm like, that seems a little manipulative on the surface, but he says he has to do it as a filter to make sure that he doesn't take on too much. And that kind of speaks to me, because I say, so I got that one voice going, you have to do everything you can for your brand. Why did you walk away from a perfectly good salary and career? And why? What are you doing in this? Are you playing a game, or are you doing a thing? Are you building a business? If you're building a business and doing the thing, why the hell would you ever say no? You got to drive yourself to go do this. And I found that mindset burns me out. It puts me in situations where I'm like, this doesn't make sense for me to do. So now I haven't quite quantified it, because like, there's a guy on the internet, Alex Hormuzzi. Everybody likes this guy. He's this like ultra entrepreneur. And so he like buys gyms that are dilapidated, moves into the gym, lives in it while he's redoing it. And like, everything is an equation. So like, he talks about, it's cheaper for him to order dinner every night where it seems wasteful. He doesn't have to buy plates. He doesn't have to go to the grocery store. He doesn't have to wash anything. It takes him 5 minutes to order it. It takes him 22 minutes to eat it, throws it in the trash. He's back to work. That's very valuable for him to pay a little bit more than doing all the other crap.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think I want to be that guy. I don't want to be. I want to be the dad. I want to be the husband. I want to enjoy cooking a steak. I enjoy cooking a good meal, kind of thing. So I do think about that stuff. Sorry, I had one exciting thing though on the positive, which is what spurred this conversation in my mind. And I know we're speeding towards the ending here. I got asked, I was recruited, offered a position on the Lonsdale Chamber of Commerce board of directors.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Adam, would you like to do this? And so my immediate thought, I didn't say it out loud, but my immediate thought was no. Like, I'm trying this new say no thing. Like, I don't say it out loud, but I say it to myself. I'm like, no, not a chance in hell. I don't like committees. I don't like building consensus. I like seeing a vision. I like saying what is going to happen and how it's going to be done and go doing it. I left committees. I left consensus building. Borderline town politics have no excitement for me. And I said yes. And I applied and went through the process, and I got selected or elected. I'm not sure, detected, inspected, all that good stuff. But I am now one of the on the board of directors of the Lonsdale Chamber of Commerce for Lonsdale, Minnesota.
So just to recap, return on investment.
I know there's a lot there. I had to get it all out.
Return on investment. You added boundaries, setting boundaries, and making sure that those boundaries are there. And then, will this infringe on the boundary that I have for my business and my personal life?
Right.
And then there's this Chamber of Commerce thing. Now, the Chamber of Commerce. Now, why? I said Converse. The Chamber of Commerce. Why did you ultimately say yes to that and not no to it?
So, a couple things. I thought through, and this is my own unique scenario. I think in a small town, some of the benefits can be magnified. So in a town like Jacksonville, I would have said, no way in hell, I don't want anything to do with this.
Right. Yeah.
In a small town, I think that the benefits get magnified a little bit. Now, if there's only 100 people in town, that wouldn't be the case. But there's 5,000 people in this town. It's on the outskirts of the Twin Cities metro. We know metro areas just grow. There's sprawl. This is a great place. Very safe town. Good business. They invite. They welcome car wash / ball python outfits, and it's just pretty cool. And so I said, you know what? If it's the place I'm in every day, it's the place where I've sort of staked my claim. I've invested. In reality, I've invested hugely in that town. A huge percentage of my savings and net worth is now situated in that town. Why wouldn't I want to have a say in what goes into that? So there was that factor of it. Secondly, there's still I am working diligently towards getting to the point where people are like, oh, that's Adam. He owns the car wash and he breeds some snakes. Not that devil psychopath in there.
Right. Yeah.
Has serpents. So I think that, I think it's a good opportunity. I also love the idea of farming opportunity. I don't know what opportunities will come from this. I don't know who I will meet. I don't know what dinner tables I'll be invited to sit at. And more and more in life, I've found that those are where the really, really good things happen. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a business, because I think how I got invited in the first place is when I walked into the bank and I asked about some financing and credit, and I opened a line of credit, and I took the time to tell the banker, look, man, I appreciate your consideration in the first place. But secondly, I come in here in filthy jeans and a black t-shirt every day because I've been working hard all day. Here's a little bit of my background, and I'd like to share with you as you consider your decision to finance me. And I sent him my LinkedIn background. Mm-hmm. From that evolved some social media consulting opportunities. I got the financing, and now comes this opportunity. So people start to go, wait, maybe you can bring value. Maybe you can bring a new insight. Oh, you have done some interesting things. We'd like to see it. So I don't know what it'll lead to, but I think it's a good opportunity to have my name and my face and my brand out there in a different way. Maybe not so Proper Royals focused, but more Adam Shirah focused. What happens when this client in North Carolina that's been fantastic, but what happens when they fly on their own and they don't need a consultant anymore? Like, a good consultant really should send a client off on their own at some point. Otherwise you're just milking them, kind of deal. So I like that kind of stuff. I like to be able to have a say in my own destiny, so to speak. And I called a mentor who was really active on town councils and Lions Club and Kiwanis Club, all the stuff that sounds exhausting to me. And I asked him, I said, and he knows me very well. It's a former boss, former GM of mine. He says, Adam, you're going to meet people you normally wouldn't go out of your way and meet. You're going to be forced to meet people. You're going to be forced to hear other ideas and other opinions from good people that care, that just have a different idea than you. And third, you're going to hear what the town is looking for. These are your customers. Why wouldn't you go and find a way to meet and interact with your customers in town? And he goes, you're going to hear what they want and they're going to get to know you. And I was like, all right, I got to go do this thing. So that's how I ended up saying yes.
Well, there it is. I mean, you kind of went through all of the things that we've been talking about, but you ended up with the answer yes. Our topic was what to say no to, but you ended up with the answer yes.
This is a good one to say yes to. I have behind the scenes slowly been stepping away from things that I say yes to. Even really short example. I know we're in overtime, but last night I have a gig coming up next week. Guy that I'm performing with, he goes, why don't we just get together tonight in person and, let's just figure this out. And I'm like, no, we're going to talk about it on the phone. We're going to agree to a plan and then we're going to go rehearse, and we don't need to get together. We don't need to spend that time. I would love to. It would have been a blast. We would have drank beer and played guitar all night. It would have been fantastic. Right. Yes. I would have loved it. He's a good person. I can't do it. It didn't make sense.
It's tough. And that's the toughest thing. That's what lulls me into this lulls me into saying yes is people. Like that's my most important thing in my life are the people around me, my friends. And so when they ask me to do something, that's the hardest no to say, to give. But it's really important, I think, to be able to say no to people. So anyway, you want to mention thank you.
Yeah, we got to say reptiles. Thank you to Elias. Go follow Creative Reptiles, keeping the lights on another week. We'll be back then. How about that, huh?
Thanks. Thank you.
Craig nailed it. The consultic. Don't be that. Get them where they complete the job, do your thing, hold your head up, have a little pride in what you do with the accomplishment, and send them on their way. I say that after they've been a wonderful client that I'm thankful for 6 years. So I think another couple of years and we'll probably shake hands and say thank you very much. So
all right.
All right, guys, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, we went to overtime today. I apologize for that, but thank you very much. Joe, anything cool, really fast, anything cool, fun? What do you got going on?
Nothing cool, fun this week. I'm going to do low key stuff this week, but then I'm going to have a party the weekend after. And then after that, I got a fishing weekend. So I'm looking forward to the next few weekends, but this weekend, low key, nothing going on.
All right. This weekend, I'll be vending at the Cold Blooded Expo show here in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota State Fairgrounds. Come hang out. Joe, find something fun to do, man. Have a good week. All right.
Always. Take it easy, everybody.